Close your eyes for a second. Now imagine you can't talk. You have no words for help, no word for mom, no word for run. You can feel everything. Fear, hunger, love, but you have no way to let it out. That was real life. For most of human history, that was every single day. Somewhere out there, hundreds of thousands of years ago, a small group of humans is moving through tall grass. The wind shifts. One of them freezes. Not because of a word, because of a smell. And in half a second, without saying a single thing, the whole group stops moving too. That's the mystery we're stepping into today. Before words existed, how did humans actually talk to each other?
Picture that same group again, right before the freeze. A child is laughing, a mother is chewing on a piece of root, an old man is dragging a broken branch behind him. Normal life. Then, out of nowhere, a shape moves in the grass ahead. No one screams a word yet. There's no word to scream yet. Instead, one man's hand shoots up, flat and still. Every single person behind him stops, like they've hit a wall. That's not an accident. That's language, just not the kind we use today. Long before the first word was ever spoken, the human body was already talking. A raised hand could mean stop. Wide eyes could mean danger. A slow nod could mean it's safe now. Scientists who study early humans believe this kind of body language came first, long before speech, because our bodies were ready for it first. Our hands, our faces, our eyes, all of it was built for movement millions of years before our brains were fully ready for talking. But here's the strange part. A raised hand only works if someone is looking at you. Think about that hunting group again, except now it's the middle of the night, pitch black, no moonlight. The same danger from earlier is back, but this time, nobody can see a hand in the air. Nobody can see a widened eye or a warning look. In total darkness, the entire system that kept this group alive during the day completely disappears. This is likely the moment something had to change, and scientists believe it did. Instead of a hand, imagine a sound, sharp, sudden, loud enough to cut through the dark. That single sound didn't need to be seen, it only needed to be heard. A short, sharp cry could mean, danger, right now. A low, steady grunt could mean, stay calm, we're okay. These weren't words yet, they were something older, something closer to the alarm calls still used by monkeys today, where one sound warns about a snake and a completely different sound warns about an eagle in the sky. Most researchers believe early humans likely used a similar system, simple sounds tied to real threats, long before those sounds carried any deeper meaning. Then, something incredible happened, so slowly that no single person alive at the time could have noticed it happening. The same sound, used again and again, generation after generation, started sticking to the same danger. A cry that once meant something is wrong began to mean that specific danger right there. Little by little, sound was turning into meaning. And once sound has meaning, it's no longer just noise, it's the seed of language. But gestures and sharp sounds alone still weren't enough to keep a group of humans alive, and here's why. Hunting an animal 5 times your size takes more than instinct. It takes timing. It takes a plan. One hunter has to know exactly when to move without anyone saying, now. A single second too early or too late could mean the difference between a full meal or a funeral. Protecting a child worked the same way. A parent needed a way to say, come here right now, fast enough to save a life, not slow enough to explain why. And teaching was even harder. Try explaining, using only your hands and your face, exactly how to sharpen a stone into a blade sharp enough to cut through hide. You can show it, you can act it out, but some knowledge is too detailed for gestures alone to carry. And that knowledge, fire starting, tool making, surviving a freezing winter, had to be passed down, or an entire family could disappear in a single season. This need to explain more and remember more may be exactly what pushed the human mind towards something new: symbols. Instead of only reacting to what was right in front of them, something shifted inside the human mind. A certain sound could now stand for water, even when no water was near. A certain motion could represent an animal that wasn't even being hunted that day. This sounds small. It wasn't. For the first time, communication wasn't stuck in the present moment. Humans could now talk about something that already happened, or something that hadn't happened yet. Nobody knows the exact day this shift occurred. There was no witness, no record, no way to press play on a moment that happened before writing, before cities, long before anyone thought to carve a single symbol into stone. But scientists later discovered something unexpected, hidden inside our own bodies, that may explain part of this mystery. It's called FOPX2. Just think of it as a tiny gene with a giant job. This gene helps control the fine, fast muscle movements your mouth and tongue need to form clear speech. Without a working version of it, forming smooth, structured words becomes incredibly difficult. And researchers found something striking. Humans carry a special version of this gene that our closest ape relatives simply don't have. That doesn't mean one gene created language on its own. Most researchers believe language grew from many changes happening together: a changing brain, a changing throat, a changing social world, and genes like FOPX2 evolving right alongside them. But this gene is real physical proof that something inside the human body was quietly getting ready to speak. Scientists still aren't completely sure how the very first true words were formed. There are several theories. Some researchers believe early words may have copied real sounds from nature: the crackle of fire, the growl of a predator, the crash of water against rock. Others believe words grew out of raw emotional sounds, cries, gasps, groans, that slowly became sharper and more specific over time. Nobody can prove exactly which theory is right. This moment happened so long ago and left behind so little evidence that it remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the story of our species. But we do know what happened after language finally caught fire, and what happened next changed everything. Once humans could truly speak, a hunt from 10 years ago could be told again, word for word, to someone who never even lived through it. A warning about a dangerous river could travel from a grandmother to a child she would never meet. Stories, real stories, could finally exist, and stories are what turn strangers into a tribe. Shared beliefs, shared memory, shared identity. Groups that once survived only through instinct could now plan together, dream together, and build something no single person could ever build alone. And from that, everything else followed. Villages rose, laws were spoken before they were ever written. Trade began between people who had never met. Prayers were whispered into the dark. Art was described before it was even carved. None of it, not one piece of it, would exist without one fragile, invisible tool: a sound, shaped into meaning, passed from one mouth to another. Think about that the next time you speak. Every single word coming out of your mouth right now traveled through thousands of generations to reach you. Every love song ever written, every bedtime story ever whispered to a frightened child, every prayer, every apology, every promise two people have ever made to each other, all of it started the exact same way, with one small, forgotten sound, made by one ordinary human being standing somewhere in the wild, unrecorded world, who had no idea that they were about to give the entire human race its voice.